Hey guys, we are live for a split second before I play the trailer. If you see people walking in the background, that's my maid. And this is Christine.
Hey
But I'm
guys.
gonna go ahead and play this trailer. Can you hear it?
Medellín es un chimba. Tienes que llegar.
Enjoying life in a nice mansion here in Medellin.
Look at this nice
It's an
mansion.
amazing event, and I would say that absolutely recommended.
This event is awesome here in Medellin, Colombia.
And you need marketing in your business. You need money and you need marketing. So you should be here.
I think it's a great opportunity to learn a lot in one weekend and also have a lot of fun.
The people are awesome,
Good vibes, pure from the heart. That is real, You can talk with the people and they help you from their heart. That's important.
Please come in, join in, and Kim is great. You're gonna have a good time, and you're gonna learn a lot.
Welcome to Vancouver Live here in Colombia.
What's really been shifting for them? What's in the works? What's up and coming? What do you need to know about in order to take your business and your life to that next level?
Kim is amazing. Like anytime I've interacted with Kim, she's always given me so much value. And so when she had this event, I just knew I had to come.
What I liked was that there was a lot of time to relax, get to know people. So there was a lot of learning, but it wasn't some event that starts at 7 and goes till 10. So there was a lot of fun to be had too.
And that's really motivational, Inspirational, motivational. That's really, I like it really.
When you get in a room with entrepreneurs and they're all together learning and sharing the knowledge, and there's always something you pick up that is an amazing trick or technique or tactic that you can go and apply in your business directly right away and make some good money with.
Different industries, different levels as well. Some people just starting out, other people just seasoned veterans, but you can tell that no matter what level you're at, there is also always something you can learn.
You will be able to ask the right questions and be able to come with the right mindset to have those specific problems solved.
But here you get a lot of very down to earth, but very successful people who are all willing to work together and share knowledge and build community. So great job, Kim. Great job.
There were so many different exercises through the whole weekend that just helped us really take homework home and just get better at everything about the business, really.
The main, thing that this event enables you to do is to think, is to just see the possibilities. What is possible beyond what you may be doing. So it just opens up your mind to what is possible, and I think that is, in my mind, is one of the biggest things.
A perfect group of people. We kick back our ideas. We learn a lot from each other, and the motivation and inspiration. Group Comfort always caters the premium quality of everything. So I really enjoy every minute of it.
Thank you, Kim. Thank you to the whole team. And we look forward to seeing you at the next one.
All right. That was the little trailer.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go. All right. So we have Christine here, and Christine is our special speaker interview for today. And this is also doubles as my first podcast. So
Yay!
Episode. Let's go, Christine. Funny enough, I met Christine years ago at a mastermind, and I remember she was standing in this parking lot because the mastermind was in a parking lot. And I think Robbie came to me, and Robbie's like, "Oh yeah, I think Christine's signing up too." And I'm like, "Who's Christine?" And he pointed to you, and I was like, "Oh, cool." And he's like, "You should go say hi." And I'm like, "Okay." I went over and I said hi, and that was the start of our friendship. And I didn't know at that time what a megastar Christine was and is. But I am so appreciative to get to know her. And since then, we've gone on a lot of trips to Miami together. I went and visited her in the Florida Keys for her birthday. And she's coming to our next in-person event in Medellin in a couple of weeks, end of this month, 23rd, as a speaker. Let's go. But with that said, I want to, for those of you who don't know Christine Seale, let's start off, Christine, with a little bit of your background story for a little bit, and then we'll get into interesting, juicy topics and catch up.
Okay, very cool. Well, thanks for having me on, and I am so excited for this event and to be able to speak to you guys about my expertise. And I've been in technology for a very long time. I started my career in IT over 20 years ago, designing websites, and it kind of went into more like of the business side, got my bachelor's and master's degrees in business, MIS, and went into the corporate world. So I was in there for way too long, 15, 20 years, working for other people. And I did everything from e-commerce to networking to server administration to management. And at the end, I was managing a decently sized team of over 30 people locally and around the world. And that's kind of where I found my niche. So really what I focus on now is I'm using all the technical expertise that I've gained over the years and my tech savviness to help other entrepreneurs with their operations and their automations so that they can scale faster with a smaller team.
Nice. And speaking of a small team, Christine, that was a very impressive track record. Been in the industry for a long time and managed 30 plus people. So speaking about small team, how small is your team?
Yeah, so it's so funny. I actually just spoke at one of the high-level masterminds and about this. My team is one, okay, other than me. And I love it that way. I am team automation all the way. And basically, I've automated everything I possibly can. And I know he's bored. Mauricio, if you're watching, I know you're bored. But, I pay him full time and, keep him around. And he helps me with like my video editing, my support and stuff like that. So I'm kind of to the point where if I automate anymore, like, I'm going to automate him out of a job and I don't want to do that. So.
Well, very few people accomplish what you're able to accomplish, which is make so much revenue on such a tiny team and automate so much. Let's talk about what is your favorite type of automations, or what are the type of automations that most people don't know they could automate and they're always like shocked to learn from you? Have you gotten that kind of like reception around certain automations that they're like, what? You can do this? For those of the people in the audience, which are mostly people who want to build their businesses, my audience is filled with like business builders, Facebook group owners. What are some really interesting automations that you have automated / observed in the past?
Yeah, that's a really good question, Kim. So I think one of the best things that I've automated is my hiring process. And I used to be a hiring manager for several different Fortune 500 companies. And I got really exhausted of getting like hundreds of resumes and not having enough time to interview everyone. So in particular, I did interview for like a developer, a programmer role. And I feel like a lot of people would lie about being able to program. Kim, are you seeing that? Like, I think it's wild.
No.
Well,
okay. I know in the Chrome extension space, and funny enough, whenever I teach Chrome extensions and I'm like, just go on Upwork, just say if they know Kim Dang, they will know who I am.
Yeah.
But in that world, Chrome extension development is pretty simple. So
Yeah.
very, yeah. Mhm.
I don't know what it is about corporate, but these people were lying about being able to program, and I had to actually fire 2 of them. And then I developed my own hiring process outside of HR that I had to get vetted. But basically, it incorporates my knowledge there into either a programming test, an attention to detail test, and I kind of combine those elements into a 3-step hiring portal. I call it a hiring portal, but basically I built a funnel with conditional logic built into the surveys, where if they don't pass step 1, they don't get to even go to step 2, and they get an automatic "thank you for applying, we didn't select you" email. If they do pass step 1, then they automatically go to step 2, and they have to complete a series of tests. And if they pass step 2, then they can interview with me. So if you have more than one person on your team already, you could definitely delegate this to like your operations manager, your hiring manager, but it'd be something anyone can do right now. And that was like kind of the hit of the show, honestly. Like everyone wanted to know more about it and how to do it. It's really, really simple.
Oh, wow. I know that in order to scale, you need to have a strong team acquisition pipeline along with your client acquisition pipeline, and automating the hiring process is probably the biggest thing you can do for your company. That's funny that you're like, I have one person and I've automated hiring.
Yeah.
It's so freaking hilarious. I'm very curious about that automation process. I know that that will help a lot of people. Is that something that you teach on your YouTube channel?
I actually just teach it in like my internal programs, but that is actually a really good idea for a YouTube video that I could just do on my channel. I think that would be super helpful for a lot of people, for sure.
Yeah, because I was actually gonna, well, I still am considering paying for GoHighLevel snapshot of a team acquisition, team hiring flow. Because once people go and apply for a position, a lot of times it's like you choose one person and then all the other leads that you have just kind of drop away. And that kind of flow is not beneficial to help scale. Scaling is, at least what I'm taught, is that you need to have consistent hiring process going on and people being on the bench. And and it's not something that you think about until way later. It's kind of like you're running around with your head cut off and you're like, no, I need to hire more people, but my hiring process is clunky. So
and if you're like a CEO and you're maybe doing sales calls still, or you're like doing anything in the operations space, this can be a total lifesaver and save like 99% of your time. Like I was able to use this and screen 300 applicants down to 3, and then I interviewed all 3 and hired 1. So I mean that's like what, 99% or more like screening process, and he's been with me almost 3 years, so it's been really, really good.
wow. I know that a lot of sales agencies and recruiting agencies, they kind of have a system, like there is software out there for hiring and recruiting. But yeah, like I'm like, I want to take this internally in-house and I want to use GoHighLevel, which is what you're an expert at. And I just made a post that's like, hey, does anyone have a snapshot, or does anyone have like, can they build this in-house for me? And I got quoted anywhere from $5K to $20K to build that out. So that's something that's in high demand.
Wow.
That's what I see.
Wow. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
I guess look for that coming soon.
You're like, YouTube idea, check. Yeah, for sure.
Awesome.
Okay, so team hiring. So that's amazing. I love to hear that, Christine. That's actually like a really big golden nugget. What other automations have you discovered that is kind of unorthodox, out of the ordinary, that wouldn't necessarily be super useful, but you're like, hey, this is really cool, and I saw this implemented, and it actually did this for this company. but most people would know that this is something that is cool.
Okay, yeah. Well, I think one of my most helpful and useful zaps has been I created a zap that will alert me when a zap is turned off. And it sounds weird that we have to do that, but like, how many of you guys actually know when your zaps just turn themselves off, right? Like, it happens all the time. And then you find out like a week later and you're like, oh my God, why are all these zaps off? Well, I created a zap that will tell me, like, email me, text me, whatever, as soon as the zap is turned off.
That's brilliant. I get an email, but you have a zap that emails you. When a zap is turned off, you do get an email, but it gets buried somewhere.
Yeah, it sends like an alert. It's like alert, and then it sends an email to me, my VA, or whoever you want. You can also make it like text you so that you immediately know as soon as the zap is off.
Oh, okay. Let me see here. Let me block that user. Okay. Jason said, what is your product? Christine.
Yeah. Hey, Jason, that's a really good question. So I'm actually focused on teaching operations and automations for agencies, and I usually teach that through a software called GoHighLevel. And so I'm one of their affiliates, and I have like a YouTube channel and teach that stuff every day. So yeah.
Yeah. And guys, if you're watching, let me know where you're tuning in from. You're coming in from different places. Christine has been OG with GoHighLevel for many years, and before that she was in IT for a long time as well. So she's really, really smart with anything automation related. In fact, that's what we're going to have her we're blessed with her being able to come and run a speaking and speak on and do a little workshop around automations at the in-person event.
Yeah, I'm excited. It's gonna be fun.
Let's go. So Jason says, got it. I have GoHighLevel. Could use that. Should I get in touch? I'm in Silicon Valley. Yeah, of course. Any one of you guys can go and search Christine down. Her name is Christine Seale. And you can also find her on YouTube under Christine Seale. And if you want to see her in person, get a ticket right there. We have a Christine Seale discount for $500. It's only for today, tomorrow. It'll end tomorrow for $500 off of the general admission ticket. But yeah, it's at groupconvert.com/Columbia. With that said, I love Christine's energy because she has mama energy and she also has spicy Spanish energy to her. So when you hang out with Christine, she's like, I need to iron your skirt, Kim. She's like, let me take care of you, dear.
You're so funny. I make you drink water for sure. And I'm like, when was the last time you ate, dear? And you're like, I haven't eaten anything today. I'm like, let's get that fixed like right now. Because you forget to eat when you're doing an event.
That's true. That's true.
You get like all in the zone, and then like you're not giving your body any energy, and you're like, oh, yeah, I do need to do that. It's fun.
Oh man, I love that. So okay, the zap that alerts you, so it's an alert zap whenever a zap is turned off. Yeah, because you never know when an automation is not going to work, and then that messes up all your flow.
Right.
And in terms of automation, what is something that you're geeking out about right now? I know that the AI movement is getting kind of big, and what have you seen in that space since you just came back from an advanced GoHighLevel mastermind? What are some things that you see that's really like moving the needle for some businesses in a way where a lot of people might not be aware of, or they're aware of, but they don't know the extent that it can be used or possible?
Yeah, so that's a good question. So AI, like you said, has been just completely blowing up lately. And I think one of the trends that I'm seeing because of all these softwares that are popping up is people starting AI agencies, right? So like they're not shy about the fact they use AI, like this is a buzzword. They're using it to get business owners, they're using it to build their businesses. And these people know, hey, this is an AI agency, but if we don't start using AI, then we're going to get left in the dust. So we definitely need to like embrace the technology rather than be scared of it and run away from it.
Yeah. With these AI agencies, are they like white labeling GoHighLevel with like the AI tool in there? Are they
Yeah.
helping you install an AI chatbot inside of your system? What's
Yeah.
the thing that these agencies are helping people do?
Yeah, so I'm seeing them do both of those things actually. There's several softwares that you can put a chatbot on your website, but they're insanely expensive, right? Like they're super pricey and they may not even have AI yet. But with High Level, you're able to package the features that you want to package. There's over 200 features, and you can package them into tiny packages and focus on one thing if you want. So some of the things that have really been crushing it are the AI chatbot, like you mentioned, and helping people train and program those, because like you can turn it on, but if you don't train and program it, then it's not going to work right. It's going to be really confusing, and you don't want to end up like going viral like these companies that sold the car for the dollar. Like you don't want that. So having an expert do that for you is going to be really important. Also, using AI for social media posting. So there's like a social media scheduler, and you can use AI to generate those posts like on a calendar, and it'll just be like a little machine and keep posting on social media for you. It's pretty cool.
Oh, like generate the post, but they can also do the posting. Kind of like the old way is you go and you create the post and then you schedule out the post one by one. But now with AI, it can like write the content and do the posting, or you still have to do the posting. It just like creates the content for you.
It creates the content for you, and then you decide like how often you want to post it.
Okay. Yeah, I know like Claude AI has been really exploding, and we tell our clients, "Hey, you can use Claude AI to just literally take all the objections that your people have and then create content out of that, and it will import into your calendar. So you have like a content calendar all built out
That's
for
cool.
a couple of minutes. Something that's really interesting too in terms of AI that I've seen in terms of automation is you can take a bunch of emails that are written by like marketers, and then you could go into Claude and say, I am an experienced marketer that have done over $1 million a year in whatever, and I like writing compelling emails that gets people to click. um, and then it's like, these are some examples emails below. Write them in a way where there's a childhood story in there. Write it in a way where there's this, include a few emoticons, and then space it out so that it's readable on mobile. And here is an example. It will take that, create a whole brand new email. And one of the biggest leverage I know for automating email sending is that it's so slow because we have to go and get a copywriter back in the day to write out like 7 emails for you and charge you like $1,000 an email. Nowadays with AI, you could just have that, and the copy is amazing and it's very compelling, and it does lead to clicks. So
Yeah,
that's
cool.
something I find fascinating and currently in my world. But yeah, Christine, so tell me about some recent trips that you've gone on, some things, some insights about life that you've experienced lately, where because I know you have a very exciting life. You go on like wherever you go, you're like, I'm gonna go there.
Yeah.
You went on all these trips and you continue to go on them. So can you tell me a little bit about some insight that you got on a recent trip, or someone said something that was really interesting, yeah, let me know. Let's catch up.
Okay. Well, I actually went on a pretty long trip recently. I went to Antarctica and Argentina, and that was more like a philanthropic mastermind type of thing. Like, we went and talked about the environment and how like the glaciers are melting, and we got to hang out with penguins and seals and whales. And I got to meet like a lot of really cool people that have completely different businesses than I do. Like, completely. Like, there's people that make tea, there's people that have, I met one person that had an agency, and there was like 150 people on the ship. So that was actually kind of crazy, and just kind of gave me like more insight on how small we really are, which isn't really related to like AI, but kind of fun and exciting. And I got to work on my Spanish. Okay, so I was like speaking Spanish for like 2 weeks, and only Spanish. And it was really exciting and fun. And I'm really looking forward to coming to Colombia because I get to do that there. And exploring South America more is like really exciting to me because I've only been to Argentina so far. So I'm excited to come to Colombia and maybe Peru and maybe Brazil. I don't know yet. Trying to figure that out. But and then I just got back from one of the high level advanced mastermind. And that was actually really, really cool. There was a few people there that were just completely crushing it in their SaaS, and it was really focused more toward that. And just finding what other people were doing, talking about like YouTube Reels, YouTube Shorts, YouTube ads, and TikTok ads, things that I haven't really thought to do yet. But
yeah,
I mean,
what? Yet you haven't run YouTube ads? You've been on YouTube for a while, but I guess you're not like trying to scale that. I don't know. I actually don't know. You haven't run YouTube ads yet?
I've played with it. I haven't done TikTok.
Wow.
And I know a lot of the people that are doing what I do, they focus heavily on TikTok ads. But girl, that's not my generation. Like, learning how to do shorts has been completely painful for me. I do the millennial pause. So that's just kind of how old I am. But I try. I'm trying.
Well, yeah, speaking of, I know you're trying over there, Christine. Speaking of SaaS, crushing SaaS, what have you seen that's really having people crush? I guess that's the topic of this interview too. Like, how do you make over $1 million a year, crushing it with SaaS, with GoHighLevel? And is it like the boring stuff, or is it like something really interesting and new? Or is it like just more of like, hey, you gotta like have the funnel looks like this? What have you seen?
It's quite boring actually, but I would say like, make sure that you go back to the basics. For example, what people are doing that they've been crushing it, when they start their SaaS company, they're using the Ask Method by Ryan Levesque. They're using Blue Ocean Strategy. Like, all the books I read in college, that's what they're doing. And they're focusing and niching down on like one thing and getting it really, really down before they expand. So I know a lot of people who like, I'm going to start a SaaS, I'm going to have 8 plans, and that way there's something for everybody. But the problem is that people get confused and they don't know what to buy. So if you just have the one thing, like Kim, you started with Group Convert, right? Like the one thing.
Yeah.
Before you start adding, yeah, and you still have it and it still works and it's amazing. And before you start adding a billion other things and making sure that you're doing your market research and getting your support on point and getting your messaging and your brand on point, that way you can, expand it later. And it goes for affiliate too. Like, I had a bunch of SaaS owners asking me about, oh, well, should I do affiliate? And I'm like, well, is your SaaS company on autopilot yet? Because if it's not, then I would tell you don't try, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And what have you seen that is like more viral-ish? Like when you say crushing, have you identified like a flow or specific funnel that works really, really well right now to grow the SaaS accounts?
Like the ugly ones, you know, like they're not pretty. They're just like super basic. And you're just taking the market research you did in the ask method and slapping it on the funnel, right? So like I'm talking like the Jeff Miller stuff, like he's totally crushing it. And his funnel is like super ugly. Love you, Jeff, but like it's so basic and it works. And you wouldn't think that would be the case, but typically like the more fancy it is and the longer it takes to load, the more drop off you're going to have and the more confused people are going to get.
Oh, that's a really, really good insight. It's very basic, takes less load time, and it's not like you have WordPress where you've optimized the speed like crazy. So if you are not that type of person, then you got to make your SaaS funnel like extremely basic so that it can beat the load time of these really long form huge funnels that doesn't give the user this like, okay, I can just buy this now type of feeling versus like, oh, I got to read this whole landing page with all these details. So more chances to click away.
Yeah. And the other crazy thing too, this is like, and I don't, maybe you didn't want me to be this basic, but like, I feel like more people should know this.
Be as basic as possible.
Guys, number one, if you're not checking it on this cell phone, most people are buying on their cell phone now. If you're not checking your website on this cell phone, you're missing out on like 80% of your business. Okay. Number two, I asked the question to a group of 80 people, when was the last time, like, have you guys ever funnel hacked yourself? And by that, I mean, like, have you gone through your own funnel, your own buying process? Have you bought your own thing? Do you even know what it is anymore? Do you know how many emails your team has added? Right? Like, are you going to get 25 emails? Or are you going to get one? So go funnel hack yourself. No pun intended. I know that's super timely, but go check it and see what you have going on.
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking about funnel hacking, what is your opinion on what's going on with ClickFunnels suing GoHighLevel right now?
Well, this is solely my opinion, and I'm not an attorney, so don't come at me. But it seems kind of desperate to me, honestly, that a company that teaches funnel hacking is suing another company for copying. That's wild to me. The memes have been really funny. If you guys haven't seen the memes, those are pretty funny. And they did ask the question at the mastermind, and the founder said, hey, like, that's a really good question. We can't really say much, but we have excellent attorneys and we're not worried. So that was promising. But that was like all they could say. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Yeah, we shall see. That's super, to me, I'm like, what? But you know what's so funny though? I still use ClickFunnels, so no hate against ClickFunnels or GoHighLevel. I use both. I use both of you guys. But what's really funny is I came out with a Chrome extension that lets you clone ClickFunnels as a funnel hacking technique, right? It clones ClickFunnels from one ClickFunnel to another ClickFunnel. And then I made it clone from ClickFunnel 1.0 to 2.0. And then I made it clone 2.0 back to 1.0 because I saw the movement. And I'm like, oh, I'll create this. And I did create it. And then I got sent a cease and desist by ClickFunnels And I'm like, what? It's probably they probably don't mean to pursue it because I'm like this rinky dinky Chrome extension, like whatever.
Wow.
But they sent me an email and they're like, don't use the word ClickFunnels in any of your marketing. And I'm like, it's a Chrome extension for ClickFunnels to help clone.
To help your
Easy.
users.
Yeah. Do what it is that you teach. Just not to each other, I guess.
Okay. Can you rename it like CF 2.0 to or 1.0 to 2.0? Like you can
I don't
get
even want to bother. I don't even want to bother with all the legal stuff. So I said, okay, I'll just not have an order page. So it's just up there, but people can't buy anything. I still have like nearly 300 users though using it. And when it goes down or when the path, like the server changes, people are emailing me going, Kim, I lost my password. I'm like, oh, you guys are still using this? So it's still useful.
Oh my
It's still useful.
Well, and I'm shocked because okay, first of all, that there was even a market that they didn't even provide that tool to their own users and you had to go create it. But then that they don't support that or that they didn't say like, hey, can we buy this from you because it would help our community? Like that would have been cool.
Yeah, it would be cool if they have their own Chrome extension, though. Lets you do that more easily. But you can save pages, so I guess there's that.
I'm like, make her an offer, guys. Like, let's go. Someone needs to do it.
Nine-figure exit. Let's go.
Let's go.
Christine, you cracked me up.
I actually met one of the like super high up like co-founder people at ClickFunnels on the trip in Antarctica. I'm not going to say who it was, but he was there and we were hanging out and he had no clue who I was. It was amazing. It was so much fun.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Maybe he's like part-time. Maybe he's one of the owners, but passive. Who knows?
Yeah.
But cool. Yeah. So Christine, what kind of sauce are we going to be learning at your workshop in Medellin? What kind of juicy stuff are you bringing?
Well, Kim, I can elaborate on any of the things I talked about today. I can go more in depth. Anything with automation, saving you time, saving you energy, helping you scale faster with a smaller team, that's my jam. So guys, buy that ticket and let Kim know what you want to see from me because that's what I'm going to talk about. Like, I want to talk about what your people want, right? What's going to move the needle for them? I can talk about any of this stuff like all day long.
Yeah, I think having a good breakdown of the either AI or team automation, the team hiring process, that would be cool. Yeah, I think a lot of them would want to learn about that process because they're always like, I have 6 VAs, Kim, and I don't even know what my budget should be about like what this is. And I said, whoa. Yeah. And it would take sometimes like 2 weeks for a person who's newer to hire someone just because they're interviewing. So it's like you don't know what you don't know, right? One of my clients, it took him 2 weeks to go and hire a VA. We didn't like have VA hiring as part of our package, but I just saw his funnel, which is he ran an ad and to a form, and he would interview every single person one-on-one who filled out the form just to see if they can speak English. And I was like, oh, include a Loom video in this form. And so right after that, it allowed him to save so much time just with that Loom video. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's amazing. And like, also, do you even know what your team is doing? Right? Like to be real with you, are you like monitoring their screen? Right? Like, cause I do that and he knows I do that. Like it's not a secret. It's not like in corporate where they're spying on you and you have no idea. Oh, they're spying on you. I promise. But this is like, hey, if you want to be my employee and work for me, you're going to install the software on your computer and run it when you're working. That way I can track your hours, but I can also see that you're on track and on task. As well as, like, when was the last time you sat down with your team members and just like shadowed them and have them like go through their day with you? You can learn so much from that. Like, you can learn so much from that. And you might even be able to eliminate things, automate things, or hey, maybe they're doing like some really cool stuff that you didn't even know they were doing. You can add that to your SOPs, but document this stuff. Like, make sure that it's documented, that they document, that you're documenting, and you can make so many operational improvements. Just like I said, if you funnel hack yourself.
I think that's great, Christine. And also Eric is here. Eric was one of our clients. He did, I think, $30,000 on his launch. Hey, Eric, we are going to be in Colombia. So at the end of this month, 23rd to 26th, come on by. Get it. You actually, since you are an alumni client, you get a ticket discounted. So reach out. Let's go. I know Eric, he's done over $1 million organically as well. He's a 2 Karma Club winner. And yeah, sup, Eric.
Nice.
Yeah, something that's really interesting, Christine. I don't know if you've seen it because you specialize in smaller teams, so you probably have seen it. But automating the accountability of team members, like scorecards or things like that.
Yeah.
What have you seen in that space to automate accountability?
Yeah, so I've done that as well, actually. I send a Zap automation as a Slack message to my VA that says, don't forget to fill out your daily report. So he clicks on the link, it goes to a Google Sheet, and then it asks him, like, what were your challenges today? What did you accomplish today? Do you need help with anything? And then I can look at it. I can see, like, was there anything he was stuck on? Or, is he doing this? Is he just copying and pasting every single day? That's a problem, right? And then he also lets me know on Slack when he starts his day. And that has been super helpful for accountability as well with having a remote team. I also use Screenshot Monitor. I kind of mentioned that earlier. It's like $10 a month. That's nothing for knowing what your people are up to. We also use it as a time card, so I can see, validate that he actually started that day on time and what time he ended up leaving for the day. So those things, running a remote team, have been really helpful. And again, he knows that I'm doing it. Like, it's not a secret. And I don't think anything is wrong with like the screen sharing programs as long as they know you're doing it. I do have a problem with like secretly recording people. And that was one of the things
in their bedrooms.
Just kidding. Oh my God, Kim. And Airbnbs and gas stations, like, that's a huge problem. No, but I mean, like, their screen. And that was one of the things I hated about corporate was like, I was in the IT department and they did that stuff. They had like keyloggers, screen recorders, cameras, and a lot of the people didn't know. So, not cool. Don't do that.
Team contract. You will be recorded everywhere you go.
Yeah, for real. And they know, like, that's fine, right? At least tell them.
Yeah, that's true.
You don't want to get sued later.
No, you don't. Yeah, I feel I have like a kind of like a love-hate relationship with accountability in that way, because like part of what I want them to feel is they could just execute. But then if you're talking about like a virtual assistant and you want to figure out how they go about things and automate stuff, there's a lot of times that just by me looking at my executive assistant going about her research process, it's like, wow, this is so slow. You don't know how to go faster. And then just like showing them a faster way is
Yeah.
it saves you time
Yeah.
and saves the company time for sure.
Yeah.
Well, what's this? Do you ever see an opportunity? What's this question? Brian says, sorry, this has been asked. Do you ever see an opportunity value in building an environment where work is deliverable oriented and people don't need to have their screens recorded? Yeah, I was talking about that. Some people who are more high, I would say they don't want to be monitored because they are more commission space, let's say. As
Yeah.
long as they are performing for the company, they don't need to be recorded. But if it's something where, for example, it's automation task based, the benefit of that is you know the time it will take for a project. So it will actually give you a measurement of the productivity per team member so that you could be like, okay, this is the cost of this project. So you know what to price the project as for your clients. And I think knowing those numbers is very important for the scalability of your company. You know how many clients you can take on per month.
Yeah. So I agree with that. And I would say, sorry, I don't know how to turn this notification dingy thing off. But hey, my VA is working. Let's go. There we go. All right. So I would also add on to that, like it totally matters what their job is. If they are salary, then performance-based deliverable, abso-freaking-lutely. If they are hourly, no, don't care. It's going to happen. For me, it's my company. Like I can run it how I want, right? So, but if they're hourly, I think that they need to be accountable for how they're spending their time, because I'm not going to pay them, like it doesn't make sense to pay them to like, I don't know, look at bad things all day, like whatever.
Porn.
Right?
Just kidding.
I didn't want to say it because I don't want to get you like kicked off. But yes, because I have had that happen before.
Oh,
yes.
wow. Same.
Yeah.
Same. It happened to me too.
And they
like
knew
my
they
team
were
member.
And they knew they were being recorded and they did it anyway. And I was like, I did not need to see that. But, how would I have known that if they were still getting their job done and then watching that on the clock? Like I wouldn't, right? So
yeah, it's a thing. Sometimes it must happen, and other times, oh well. But yeah, with that said, Christine. So as you can see, you guys, Christine has a depth of knowledge about a ton of automation, and she herself has managed to achieve what a lot of people, I feel, it's like a phenomenon still, having one team member, one VA, and earning the amount that she earns is phenomenal. It allows her to travel. It allows her to be where she wants to be, experience what she wants to experience, and kind of live the life that a lot of people strive to have the freedom for. So that's why I'm excited to have Christine come and share her knowledge in person at our next mastermind event, and just hang out with my buddy, hang out with my friend as well.
I'm
Let's
excited
go.
too.
Yeah,
you guys
Christine,
can come meet me, grab your tickets.
groupconvert.com/Colombia. Very easy to remember.
Tienes
Just
que
remember
llegar.
Colombia. Tienes de.
Tienes
Is that
que
the
llegar.
trailer?
Yeah.
Let's go speak some Spanish together.
That means you have to come, okay? I translated it for you there. No excuses.
All right, Christine. Well, thank you so much for showing up today. I am looking forward to seeing you soon. And then also we are going to be recording. Well, I don't know how your energy feels, but I'm up for it if you want to record another podcast.
Yeah.
What is this? Will we be recorded the whole time? Brian, who feels uncomfortable about getting recorded and monitored. Brian, you're gonna be signing a video release, okay? You will be recorded. I'm gonna
Yes,
tell
you
you
will.
right now. Yes. But here's the thing. We're gonna have the trailer, so you're gonna be in bits and pieces. But if you want to hide, you can go into one of the rooms. We actually have a few rooms in the mansion that you can go and rent, and it is part of the ticket price. So once you pay the general admission, there's options to upgrade, and we have a couple of spots left for you to stay at the mansion if that's your thing. Brian's like, he's just playing. Brian, you're gonna be recorded. You'll be recorded in the bathroom. You'll be just kidding. I don't think they do that.
Not the
Okay.
bathroom.
Not the bathroom. Yeah, you're gonna wear your full size group cover costume. Great. It must be homemade because we don't
Wow.
sell it.
I was gonna say, like, I didn't know you had that, Kim. Wow.
October 2024. It's coming for Halloween.
For Halloween.
Okay, you guys.
Cool.
This was fun, Christine.
Yeah.
I'm now going to click end the stream, and then I'll see you in the green room. All right, you guys, go to groupcomer.com/Colombia and grab yourself a ticket.
There.
Bye, everyone.